Hi, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to Wondersnatch. Today I'm going to be doing my first ever stand-up gig in drag, okay? I'm going to be performing at the Xiao Jia Boss show, okay, at a projector hosted by Polly Imoru, who's been on my channel. Okay, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Okay, and I'll be trying out some new stuff. I'm going to be using Painted by James Charles to maybe do a little bit of a smoky eye or something, I don't know, graphic. I don't know. We'll see where it goes. But I'm also going to be workshopping my material here, okay? Because I've written it all down, but I haven't actually said it all out yet. So maybe I'll just use this as an opportunity to, workshop my jokes a little bit. Spoiler alert, it's about what is a drag queen. Alright? Okay, so if that's something you want to see, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel and leave a comment on what you think a drag queen is, and stay tuned. Alright, okay, so I've got my wig cap on, and I've already applied my Neat 3B Face Saver Gel for the sweat, okay, especially on the nose, and a little bit in the brows as well. Okay, I left it on for maybe about like 5 minutes, and then I cleaned up with alcohol. So now I can go in with my glue. So tonight's set, I was going to talk about, of course, I wanted to make it something specific to myself, so I wanted to talk about drag, and talk about being a drag queen and everything, and what it is being a drag queen. And I wanted to talk a little about makeup as well, because I think that's something that I've been doing quite a lot of. So I was going to start off by, engaging the audience a little bit, and I'll say something like, who's done drag? How many drag queens do you know? Because, as you know, Singapore have a little bit of a drag explosion recently, okay, after the pandemic. People are starting new Instagram accounts with their queen personas all the time. Okay, insert joke here. I was going to say something like, how about this? On top of their Insta and their Finsta, everyone's got a Queensta now to a Queensta, because everyone has a new drag queen account. Is that funny? I don't know. Maybe something like, there are more drag queen accounts now than there are presidential candidates. It's election season in Singapore, so maybe that's kind of topical. Or maybe there are more drag queen candidates than there are scandals, PAP sex scandals. No, that's quite stupid. Anyway, let's see what comes out of my mouth later. I guess I will vlog this, so hopefully I can include my set in this video at the end. We'll see. And of course, the reason for this is because now it's so accessible. Makeup tutorials and how to become a drag queen. I mean, basically, for me, YouTube is my drag mom. Okay? You know how they say disenfranchised white men on internet get radicalized to become terrorists and Swiss bomb. Us gay guys become radicalized to become drag queens. I mean, it's true. Okay, it really was from season 9, 10 of Drag Race, when they started doing the makeup tutorials when the queen was eliminated, which I really watched all those things, and it just set me down a rabbit hole of makeup tutorials. Until my homosexual audacity convinced me that I could do it myself. So I was going to use this as a jumping off point to talk about what exactly is a drag queen, right? Since everyone is trying drag and everyone's doing drag, when do you actually get to call yourself a drag queen? And the next whole section is about drag puberty, okay? I think if you want to be a drag queen, you have to go through drag puberty, okay? Just like any adult, you need to be able to grow into your craft. Okay, and here I'm using what I learned in child psychology when I rotated through psychiatric postings before, about the ways that a person develops, okay? And of course, there are always 4 main things that we consider when we talk about development. Of course, it's the physical, the emotional, the familial, and then the society, how they relate to all these things. So what is drag puberty? Any drag queen worth their salt would have gone through drag puberty, right? You have to go through this awkward phase of development before becoming a full-blown drag queen. Okay, and of course the physical part is, of course, getting into the whole look. And that's where the makeup part comes in, right? So I think just like teenagers going through puberty, drag queens need to go through a phase where they look terrible. Their skin is horrible, their makeup is horrible, they haven't figured out the face yet, or the proportions are a little bit off, okay? And they need to grow into this, okay? So of course, like any teenager, your skin becomes really bad, and that's because you need to think about things like your foundation, okay? And here I thought, okay, maybe talking about makeup isn't a very relatable to the audience as a whole, so I was going to compare it to something else. I was going to compare it to making popiah. You know what popiah is? Popiah are basically these Asian burritos, okay? We have popiah parties at home where we roll these burritos filled with like turnip and ingredients and stuff like that, and it's quite popular in Singapore and quite popular around this region, like popiah party. So I think everyone in the audience should know what popiah is. I am going to give myself a little bit more of this in my nose, make sure it doesn't So one of the most important things of making popiah is of course the skin, okay, the foundation of the popiah, okay. To match a foundation takes a long time, okay, and you know your skin is going to look terrible when you first start out in drag. You probably get your shade wrong, you're going to probably use the wrong products based on your skin type, you're going to get your contouring wrong, and this is basically going to look like shit, okay. And I think that is something that every drag queen has to go through, and everyone has their favorite like popiah skin, right? But in my opinion, there's only one way the popiah skin has to be. It has to be firm and to hold all the ingredients together. It can't be too soggy and it can't be too tough as well, okay? It has to be perfect. Because you know, there are some popiah skins that dry out and it's almost like chewing on a gym towel, okay? And there's some which, you know, add egg in it, and the eggy ones tend to break very easily. So yeah, getting the foundation is absolutely important, and until you do, your skin is going to look terrible. Okay, the next step, of course, making a popiah. There are several steps of making a popiah. Okay, you get the skin, and then you have to put all these ingredients in it, and the ingredients are usually quite wet. Okay, especially this turnip stuff, which gets really soggy very easily. So you need to prepare your base very well. There's only one right way to do it, and in my opinion, you got to put a piece of lettuce on top of that, and then put all your sauces and your ingredients. Okay, and that actually helps the popiah from breaking. I'm actually an expert in making popiah. All my popiahs are almost never break. Okay, and they always look very, very beautiful. Yeah, I haven't had a popiah party in a while, so my popiahs are always like pristine and they're very, very good. Okay, some people always put their sauce right onto the skin. You can probably put some garlic and chili, but not the black sauce. Okay, there's this like sweet sticky sauce that sometimes causes your popiah skin to break as well. Okay, so layering all these ingredients is very important. Okay, and you know some queens take forever to figure this out. Okay, and you're just gonna have messy popiah for years. Okay, for months or years before you perfect your face. But it is important for you to, you know, start going out and start, you know, critiquing your own makeup when you leave the house not perfect, okay? You're never going to be perfect, so you got to start somewhere. So, you know, baby queens have to look bad for a while. And that's why you really have to learn your own makeup. And this is the reason why I have been pushing Honey Gluttony to learn her own makeup. She's been a bit too reliant on me doing her makeup for all my shows and looking not bad, because I've pretty much learned how to paint her face. But I really wanted to get her more self-sufficient. And I really think she has to go through this drag puberty of, you know, looking back and just seeing how she can improve her makeup by herself. Okay, I'm just gonna do these brows really quickly off camera and I'll be right back to keep talking. Okay, powdered it all, now going into my primer. As usual, I need to just hydrate the base a little bit with this Morphe. Okay, and going in with my milk for a good grip. Okay, so next, what other physical things accompany drag puberty? Okay, of course, it's a growth spurt, right? Okay, the growth spurt, I gained about 1 foot of height when I started drag. Okay, with my hair and heels. What comes to the territory is that I could never find shoes that fit me. That was the story of my life when I was growing up too, because my feet just kept growing, okay? And now in drag, until you find a place that sells nice big drag queen shoes, it's almost impossible to find shoes anytime, okay? But what else really grew is my, you know, my body. Because of the Wonder Snatch, the padding and everything, my friends are obsessed with my ass. When I'm in drag, okay, people like to come up and just touch my ass and poke at the ass all the time, because some people actually thought it was real. They actually gained weight to have my ass like that. I think I'm going to go into some SheGlam primer as well. I think that's all I had for the physical parts of drag. Oh no. Is it funny? It seems quite dry. Oh, okay, never mind. Push on. Okay, so next is the emotional part. I guess for the emotional part, actually I haven't really thought this part through as much. But you know how what makes a drag queen really a drag queen is seriously how they develop their own relationship to gender and gender expression. Okay, because drag is an art form that is born out of having to fit into society, okay, and rebelling against that. The whole concept of your gender expression is something that is quite quintessential to being a drag queen, okay? Unfortunately, that's not very funny, but how can I make that funny? Let me think. I mean, this might end up being something like more of a storytelling instead of humor. This James Charles sponge is not bad. It's quite big. and quite nice to use. Okay, got some this SheGlam concealer. So I guess, you know, society expects you to be a certain way. So I think the emotional part of doing drag is to come to terms with alternate gender expression and indulge that childhood yearning for dress up, right? And give yourself permission to go there. Still not very funny. Oh no. Okay, I'll think about this part. Okay, I'm going to use my clown white light to paint on. Bring out the highlight here. Okay, let's put a pin on this emotional part. Next is the familial part. So, you know, every person who's developing their identity always has to make sure that it is formed in the presence of a supportive family, okay? And sometimes our family is chosen, okay? If, for example, drag houses, that's where the family part comes in, okay? I never really set out to form a drag house, okay, or have children, because I never really wanted to be responsible for anyone else's drag. But, you know, people have claimed me as their mom and their grandmom and everything, so I think I kind of by default have kind of a drag family, and I think it's fun. I think it is quite fun to mentor young queens or to give them tips whenever they ask. Okay, but I know a lot of a lot of queens here do lean on the concept of drag family, and the drag family sometimes helps not only with that, but you know, in the ballroom scene especially, sometimes these support systems that are there when, you know, you're thrown out of the house, or you don't your actual biological family doesn't support you. So I know there's a very deep historical meaning to drag houses. As a drag family, that's also something that is very important, you know, to help each other improve your skills. And that's not very funny either. I did claim that I tied my tubes, but Honey Gluttony won't stop claiming me as her drag mom. I'm going to try contouring a little bit more underneath here. Yeah, so here I was going to do a little bit of a joke about the tube tying and drag children. Oh yeah, but I have to tie it back to drag puberty, right? Okay, so drag puberty, this is when you really start acting up against your family, right? You start to rebel. You start to figure out what your relationship is with your family and what the boundaries are. Some people who are lucky get drag moms or drag families that constantly give them advice and tell them where to go, but a lot of us are basically doing this blind and trying to figure it out on our own. So, you know, I think there has to be some leeway given in for that. Oh my god, my face looks so different from my body today. Alright, brows. Approachable brow or cunty brow? I think approachable. I think more rounded. Okay, I haven't been giving myself a lot of eye space lately, but today I want to give myself a bit more. Oh god, I hope I don't bomb tonight. But you know, even if I do, that is something, it's a rite of passage, right? If we're talking about rite of passages. For drag and for comics and everything, to get on the stage, just getting on the stage is a big hurdle already. So I think I should be quite proud of myself for even trying this. I mean, I've always wanted to do stand-up. Before I started drag, I actually did a few rounds of stand-up before. Open mics and everything in Singapore when the scene here was just starting. Okay, I think I'm gonna set my face first. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I've set everything and put some translucent powder down. Now I'm gonna go in the eyes. I'm gonna try my James Charles painted, okay? Apparently these dry quite quickly. I might need to work fast. Okay, I think today I'm going for a black and white look, but I want to give a pop of color in the eye. So maybe a blue, okay, because most of my outfits will be silver. So I'm just going to open up this blue. Just put some on the tray, very, very little. I'm just going to lay this down as if it's an eyeshadow. Okay, let's start the crease. These go on quite easily. out. A little bit goes a long way. Just wiping it off and just blending it up to make it a little bit more rounded here. Yeah, so physical, emotional, family, and then I was going to talk about social also. So yeah, I was going to talk about cliques here, right? When you venture out into the world of drag, you need to find your own identity and your own clique, okay? And of course, just like a high school, just like an American high school movie, that there's so many different cliques and so many different types of drag. You've got the pretty girls, the fashion girls, you've got the goths or the weirdos, and then you've got the theater kids, like me. Okay, you've got the theater kids, the nerdy ones, and you have to find your tribe, as they say. Okay, oh, there's lots of blue left over. Why don't I use this to wing out a bit too then? I mean, this stuff is really good, but it acts like a base. And a little bit of it really goes a long, long way. So this is also when you start honing, you know, your performance style, your type of drag. When you talk about society, you got to talk about your relationship to the wider community as well. Okay, I think drag queens, as I said, are the mascots of the LGBT community, and we have to present ourselves as such. We're the most visible, the most vocal, and we should be using our voice to bring out societal good, and that's when other community stuff comes in, right? I think it is important for drag queens to have a bit of advocacy, okay, and use their voice for fundraising and stuff like that, okay. And again, this is really boring. This is almost more like a TED talk. Gotta find a way to make this funny. Okay. Look, I squeezed out a small little dollop, and that's all I used. I'm gonna go in with my Rick and Morty palette. This really, really deep blue here to deepen up the crease. Okay, but this really pops on that base. Okay, I'm going to blend that out with a lighter blue, the one with the Rick's face on it. I'm just going to blend that out there. Okay, so this does help to blur out everything. You know, and this James Charles stuff is fun to use, but I don't see why we couldn't have just gone straight in with shadows for this. I'm going to use the white to go to my under eye. I'm going to use this square brush, the James Charles brush. I'm just going to use it right with me so I don't waste any. And apparently these set themselves, so maybe I wouldn't have to set it with... Oh, shit. Oh. That was a little bit of a bukkake. Wasted so much. Okay, I'm going to bring this white a little bit inner today. Like there. I think I'm going to use this to cut my crease as well. Oh god, I'm in trouble. Where's my jokes? Where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? This stuff is really liquidy, and if you press the container too much, it really squirts out a lot. And it's such a waste of product. Okay, how to make my set funnier? Okay, I guess the emotional part I can talk about. Acting out, teenagers acting out. We should talk about sex here. Like, you know how teenagers are always so horny, and I guess when drag queens start coming out, they think they're the shit, okay, that everyone wants to fuck them. Something like that. Okay, and now let's go into the black. Okay, I think I'm going to use a paintbrush to paint on my liner. That is quite a good liner. Okay, this black is really good. Okay, it's really, really pigmented. Look at that. Okay, and if you don't need to set it, that's even better. Okay, I'm just gonna go along the outside also. I'll blend this out later. Okay, this is a really different eye shape for me. I gotta start blending this out with some powder, I think. I'm just gonna get a clean brush. Okay, I'm just gonna buff out this black. I'm gonna buff out some blue. Some of this blue from the Rick and Morty. Okay, this makeup is looking a little bit different from my usual. Okay, I think I need to have a little think about my material, and I'll be right back to discuss this a little bit more. Okay, so I've gone a bit further with my eyes, okay? I've really smoked it out a little bit more, okay? My hair's gonna be quite big for this, so I wanted proper good drag eye makeup, okay? My lips, I think I'm gonna go for a neutral lip, okay? I haven't really thought very much more about my jokes. I have some things I want to say, but I think I will try to maybe just improv that. Oh, this is gonna be risky. I think I know I have some funny things to say about that, but I think a lot of this needs to be workshopped properly. This whole gender thing, I was going to think about, you know, the emotional thing about connecting to your gender, and this is why I need to paint my boobs on to do stand-up in a women's only comedy show. Maybe I should ask ChatGPT to write me some jokes. Maybe I'll do that. Okay, I'm going to take you on a vlog with me to the thing, and hopefully they'll let me film my set, and I'll put it here, okay, and do a sign-off later. Okay. It's a nice kind of a mauvey kind of look. Lips. Some white, clown white. Alright, I'm just gonna put on some lashes and some jumps on my face and have more of a think about my material, and I'll be back with the vlog, alright? Okay, so now I'm here at the projector, and here with me is Eugene, also known as Barbie Ponte.
Hello!
Hello.
Hi!
Out of drag today, and today you're just doing a backstage.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just telling him I'm very super nervous about my set. I was like running through my set earlier, and it's like, this isn't very funny. When saying out loud, when I wrote down very funny, but when I say it out loud, it's like, doesn't sound very funny. What advice do you have for me?
End on the highest laugh. So if it's a good laugh, end your set.
Okay, I'll try. So here's the final look, and I'm here backstage with the other comics of Sao Chabor. This is Joanne Kang from Malaysia. She's amazing. She's like a drag queen, but hair's almost as big as mine.
Actually, I am a drag queen.
Oh, no one say you can't. And what's your name?
Joanne too.
Joanne also?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Joe with a
She's a normal one.
Yeah.
And that's Sharu. Sharu, also another comic here, and that's Victor.
Hello.
Victor, hello. Who did stand-up and pole before.
Yes.
Yeah.
Quality, we don't know, yeah? No one said anything on quality.
And you are? Alex. Hello. I can't wait to work with her. Yeah, and this is Nebulous Nia. Very easy. She comes with a name. She comes labeled.
Nice to meet you.
And here is, of course, our host, Steph, who is also known as Polyrocious, who's been on the channel before.
Yes.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being part of
I'm like
this.
super nervous now. I'm shaking my
It'll
boots.
be great. It's a good kind of nervous.
And with this, Hyomi, who is an aspiring drag queen.
Yes.
Huh?
Very aspiring.
Very aspiring.
Want to do one day. Please got any connections, please let me know.
That is one
Yes, of course. I want to.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Steph and Hilmi, for having me on your stage tonight. Sorry, I'm so short. Hi, I'm Victoria Wondersnatch. How many of you have heard of me before? Oh, wow, so famous. Okay, so how many of you here are actually drag queens? Oh, got a number of drag queens. How many of you actually know drag queens? Quite a lot. I think drag has really been in a kind of a golden era recently, right? I think over the last few years there's been such a huge amount of new drag queens, right? I think it's, after the pandemic, all the straight people got their sourdough starters and all this thing, all the gay people became drag queens. And Instagram is doing really well because all the gay people now have 3 accounts. Their Instagram, their Finsta, and their Queensta. And I'm here tonight, and I'm here as a barcode. Can you see? If you whip out all your phones, you whip out all your phones and scan, you get a free ticket to my show next week. Anyway, seriously there's so many drag queens popping up everywhere. People are trying drag, because it's one of the coolest things to do now, right? But I think one of the questions that we all have to ask is, what actually makes a drag queen? When do you actually get to call yourself a drag queen, right? Is it when you put on the dress, do a couple of lip syncs, and become a drag queen? I don't think so. I think it takes a lot more than that. Okay, and today I'm going to give you a little TED talk. Okay, so on what my opinion of what actually makes a drag queen, okay? And you can tell that I really overthought this because I went and researched child development, okay, and put it into this. So I think everyone who has become a drag queen actually has to go through what I call drag puberty. Okay, so just like any other puberty, you need to be able to go through these stages to become a drag queen, and there are 4 stages, okay, to become a drag queen. There's the physical stage, emotional, familial, and society as well. Okay, so everyone has to go through all these stages. And the physical part is the most jarring. Okay, everyone who goes through drag puberty has to look really, really, really gross for a while, right? Okay, to get your makeup to a certain stage, like me. Takes a very, very long time, and you need to look busted for a while. But busted means ugly, okay? Not busted, busted in the face. So you need to actually go through these stages of what I call drag puberty. Okay, and this is my daughter here, actually. I don't have a drag daughter. Her name is Honey. Hey, my light doesn't follow me. It's not a follow spot. I'm sorry, so sometimes I have to stand here to deliver my jokes. No budget, yeah. I thought, well, try again. No, oh yeah, that's it. Joanne, you can do also next time after this. So, you know, when Honey Gluttony started performing with me, I used to do her makeup all the time, okay? She was so beautiful, right? Right, Honey? Yeah. But recently I thought, this is not doing her any favors. She's gonna look back and she's gonna look so beautiful like me all this time. She's not gonna learn how to do her makeup. So recently I actually pushed her to do her makeup. How have you found that, Honey? Did you find it useful?
She dyed a local girl most of the day.
Yeah, so doing drag makeup is not easy, okay? I think to be more relatable to all of you, I like to compare doing drag makeup to making popiah. Do you all like to make popiah? You go to popiah parties and everything, right? You know the most important part of the popiah is about the skin, right? The skin has to be a certain type of skin. Okay, it has to be that tasteless, rubbery skin. Okay, that holds everything together. It can't be too nice. Okay, have you had the popiah that would add an egg inside? Isn't that like crazy? It's like this disintegrates with everything else. Okay, and you can't, and when you do your popiah, so you cannot anyhow put, I want to put the turnip onto the skin like a psycho. Who does that, right? The wet stuff totally soaks the skin and your popiah just disintegrates. You're basically eating it with your hands after that. So making popiah and to drag makeup is exactly like that, okay? You need to be able to get the order right. You need to get the right skin, the good foundation. If not your skin, your makeup, your face, it just looks like a teenager the whole time that you're doing drag. And that's drag puberty. Okay. Other things about the physical part of drag puberty, there's a growth spurt. I think I gained about 30 centimeters during my drag puberty. Hair and heels. And also, just like puberty, I could never find any shoes that fit me for a very, very, very long time. And also, okay, so now moving on to the emotional part of drag. Okay, so being a drag queen, you throw all that out the window. Okay, and you have to be able to live live on the other side for a while. You know, the first time I had to buy makeup was like so stressful. You know how stressful it is to buy an eyeliner brush as a man? Huh? Can you imagine walking into the store, asking for an eyeliner brush, and I was so nervous. Okay, the first time I was like, the person asked, is this the brush you want? I said, yes, buy and run off. It was like really, really, really quite difficult, okay? And even up to now, there's only one place I buy my bras. It's a Pierre Cardin shop at Vivo City. The woman there, do you know the store? Oh, you know the store, is it? Yeah. The woman the first time I went to buy bras there, she was like, why was this person like hanging around so often looking at the bras? And look at the big ones, somehow her government is very, very big. This one. So in the end, I came clean to her. I said, it's for me. And now she is my biggest supporter. Every time I walk by, she says, hey, 38 DD, you star. Very good. Yeah, she's one of my biggest supporters now. But yeah, so now I only buy bras. But now you go online, you can buy anything. So I mean, this part is something that I think every drag queen should have to go through, okay? To be able to accept that people are going to look at you very funny. The next part, familial, okay? You know a lot of drag queens in Singapore. I'll have to admit that being in the drag family is usually out of necessity, okay? In the drag houses before, people used to be thrown out of the house for being gay or doing drag, and so they find their own family. So you need to find your own family. Of course, Honey here, has actually declared herself my daughter. I never really adopted her. You know? She kind of declared herself my daughter. So I said, okay, you can be my daughter. So I tied my tubes after that. But then this one goes off and has like 20 kids of her own. So now I'm like fucking grandmother. Fucking drag grandmother. At this young age. Yeah, but I think family is very important. Okay, so you need to be able to surround yourself with drag queens who you can learn from and you can have support for everything that you do. The very last one is the society. Hey, drag queens were the mascots of the LGBT society. Would you agree? We're the most visible, we're the loudest, we're the prettiest. Right? Okay, so every time we say something, you know, people do listen. So I think we do have a responsibility to uplift the gay community and the LGBT community. Okay, I'm going to give you an example. Tomorrow is polling day. Okay, so I'm going to sing you a song. Okay, and this song, I want you to remember. How many of you are voting tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay, I want you to remember this song as you go to vote tomorrow. Wait. I have a pen. I have a pineapple. Pen, pineapple, pineapple pen. Do you get that? Okay, thank you. That's my time. Thank you very much.
Victoria Wonderstash, please give it a round of applause for her.
Thank you.
Can we get a slide up for Victoria?
Oh
please?
yes, and I'm here also to promote my show next week. So next week, me and Honey, we're actually doing a Disney show. Okay, it's going to be a whole new concept we're trying. But it's a dinner theater. It's dinner theater, so you have to eat, drink while you watch us, you know, skewer Disney villains. Okay, so we did a Disney show last year. We were all princesses. This time we thought, what the hell? We're just going to be all the bad guys. Okay, and also if you want to see me do something very different, I have also a drag king character that's in there, Snatch Wonder. Snatch Wonder sounds like a porn star name, right? It's Snatch Wonder. He's like a real douchebag, and you can see him do Disney stuff. Okay, great show, amazing Joanne. This is the amazing Joanne. She was like killing it, and so Sharu, everyone here was. You guys are so talented.
Thank you, and you killed it.
Yes, you get it! Congrats!
First time. Yeah, well done. And he wants to do drag. He's been dropping hints all night.
Yes, anybody want to drag me up? I want to be insult comment.
You come out.
Thank you. And there's Victor who got to show off his boyless.
Yes. Yes. No pole.
Can you take a photo for us?
Not again.
Alright, so I'm back, and that was my first time doing stand-up, and I think it went quite well. A little bit nervous, but I think I got most of my points across, and I got some laughs. Okay, so stay tuned, and don't forget to get tickets for my Disney show. Okay, we are having a little bit of a deal now, so if you're watching this video and click the link below and buy the Flotsam and Jetsam duo ticket, you get 1 extra ticket free, so that's 3 for the price of 2. Alright, okay, so please come to the show next week, and I'll see you next time. Bye.